Dear students, the chapter which we have started under the name Transport and Excretion, I think we all have discussed sufficiently about the transport system in plants as well as in animals. And within this chapter, they have also given the explanation about the excretion system of some living organism, surely putting more importance over the human beings. So I will discuss one by one about the excretory system of our human beings, as well as a little bit about the excretion in some other animals in short, and if possible we will discuss about the excretion in plants also. So let us start our discussion. Removal of waste. Wastes are produced inside the body of every organisms. These wastes need to be expelled, or that is thrown out from the body. If they were not expelled, they would poison the living organism. So this process of removing waste from the body is called excretion. So we will discuss only the ways by which we expel the waste. Several organs of our body are involved in the removal of waste. The waste generated in the process of digestion, as you have learned, is expelled from the large intestine through the anus. Carbon dioxide produced in the process of respiration, we are supposed to consider this carbon dioxide also as a waste material, as a waste product. This is expelled from the lungs through the nostrils. Now, sweating. Sweating helps us to cool down. The evaporation of sweat water requires heat. Our skin provides this heat, so we feel cool when sweat evaporates. This is why we sweat more when it is hot. We also excrete water, salt, and a substance called urea in the process of sweating. Urea is a waste produced when proteins are broken down in the body. Sweat is secreted by the sweat glands. A sweat gland is a coiled tube which opens to the surface of the skin. Wastes from the surrounding capillaries and tissues pass into the sweat glands and are expelled as sweat. Now, let us discuss about our urinary system. The urinary system filters out the waste products collected by the blood, from all over the body and expels it as urine. This urinary system consists of two kidneys, a urinary bladder, two ureters, and the urethra, a small tube through which urine is expelled out. The kidneys are bean-shaped organs situated behind the stomach, one on each side of the spine. Each kidney has about 1,000,000 tiny filters called nephrons. A nephron looks like a small cup or funnel with a longish tube attached to it. There is a mesh of capillaries, network of capillaries in each of these cups. Water and wastes like urea and salt filter into the cups from the blood in the capillaries, the way the tea is filtered through a strainer. In the same way, this waste and water is getting filtered. Urea and salt is getting filtered. Blood cells and other large particles remain in the blood in the capillaries, the way tea leaves remain in the strainer. The clean blood leaves the kidneys while the waste flow into the tubes of the nephrons. Okay? These tiny tubes join up to form bigger tubes, which in turn join the ureter. The waste flow through the ureters and are collected in the bladders in the form of urine. The bladder is like an elastic bag. It can hold about say half a liter of urine, but the urge to urinate begins much before the bladder is completely stretched. An adult passes about 1 liter and 1.5 liter of urine a day. An adult passes between 1 liter and 1.5 liter of urine per day. Dialysis now. What is the meaning of dialysis? The kidneys can stop functioning due to many reasons, which we will not discuss now. It will come in your some higher classes. But when a person suffers from kidney failure, or you may say his kidney stops functioning, he has to undergo a process called dialysis. In brief, dialysis is the process of removing wastes from the blood artificially. The parent's blood is taken out of an artery and allowed to pass through a tube whose walls are semi-permeable. The tube, which is dipped in a solution, acts like a sieve. It allows the smaller waste particles to pass out of the blood into the solution, but it does not allow the blood cells and proteins which are larger to pass through. The way waste passes through the wall of the dialysis tube is pretty similar to the way they pass through the capillaries into the nephrons in the kidneys. In fact, It is similar to all the processes of transfer of substances inside the body of a living organism. In all these processes, substances pass through a semi-permeable membrane from the side where their concentration is high to the side where their concentration is low. Thus, waste passes from the blood where their concentration is high to the solution where their concentration is low. So, in this way, dialysis takes place. Dialysis machine works just like a kidney, except that no selective reabsorption takes place in the former. So, an artificial kidney helps to remove harmful wastes, extra salts and water. This is the first function. Secondly, it controls blood pressure. And thirdly, it maintains the balance of sodium and potassium salt in a patient whose kidney have failed. So these are the three functions which our artificial kidney can perform. Now we said a kidney can get damaged. Let us say a few words about that also. Why it get damaged? A kidney may be damaged due to infection, first of all. Secondly, due to injury. Thirdly, due to diabetes. And fourthly, because of extreme of blood pressure. Due to all these reasons, a kidney failure can take place. A damaged kidney cannot function efficiently to remove the urea or iron or the ions or water, etc. from the blood. And this malfunctioning may result in the accumulation of toxic wastes, which we say as uremia, which can even lead us to death also. In this situation of kidney failure, the dialysis machine that acts as an artificial kidney can come into work. Okay? A dialysis machine, it has a long tube structure made of cellophane suspended in a tank called dialyzer of a fresh dialysis fluid. The cellophane tube is partially permeable and therefore allows solutes to diffuse through. The dialysis fluid has the same concentration as the normal tissue fluid, but nitrogenous wastes and excess salts are absent. During this dialysis, the blood of the patient is withdrawn, as we said earlier also, from an artery and cooled at 0 degrees centigrade. It is maintained in a liquid state by adding an anticoagulant and by other special treatments. It is pumped through the dialysis machine. Here, the nitrogenous waste products from the blood diffuses into the dialysis fluid. The purified blood is then warmed to the body temperature and pumped back into the patient's body through a vein. The dialyzer is specific for each patient to avoid infections. Dialysis through an artificial kidney has to be carried out at frequent interval. Means the patient who is suffering from this kidney failure undergoes dialysis at a frequent interval. The process of this purification of blood is called hemodialysis. So, this is about the process of dialysis. Now, this discussion is about the excretory system of human beings. So, we can now little bit discuss about the excretion in other animals. Many unicellular organisms like amoeba throw out wastes by diffusion from their body surface. Protozoans have no organs for excretion. As they live in an aquatic habitat, their wastes are eliminated by diffusion through the plasma membrane. Simple multicellular organisms like Hydra throw out solid waste matter through their mouth. Higher multicellular organisms have well-defined specialized excretory organs. These organs could be simple tubular structures as in flatworms and leech. The excretory organs of insects like you say grasshopper or cockroach, housefly, etc. are also tubular. They remove nitrogenous wastes from their body fluid and help in maintaining the water balance in their body. In vertebrates, the main organs of excretion and maintenance of water balance are the kidneys. We discussed about kidneys just now. Clear? So, this is about the excretory system of human beings, and also we have discussed about the excretion in other animals also. Dear students, so we have today discussed about the excretory system of human beings, in which we have discussed about the sweating process. We have discussed about the elimination of carbon dioxide gas during respiration, exhalation process from our lungs. We have discussed about the urinary system of human being as a whole. We discussed about the various parts that are involved in this urinary system. We explained about the nephron also, the very structure of a typical nephron. So, and finally, we discussed about dialysis, why we require dialysis, in which situation we require dialysis, what are the functions carried out by this artificial dialysis machine. We also discussed about the various causes of the kidney going out of order, why it is malfunctioning, that also we discussed. So This is the end of our discussion for today. In the next part, we will try to discuss about the excretions in plant. So till then, goodbye.